You're watching Cape Media News, brought to you by Cape Media Center.
Good evening and welcome to Cape Media News, your source for hyper-local news that matters. I'm Mitch Sock. 2024 was an eventful year on all fronts. This special edition of Cape Media News will be recapping 2024 with our favorite stories from Barnstable, Yarmouth, Harwich, Chatham, and Dennis. In an increasingly divisive political climate, communities organized this year to make their voices heard at local and state level. Barnstable Speaks, an organization opposing local offshore wind farms, held a rally at Craigville Beach last April to protest the proposed wind projects.
So today, in this place, we are drawing a line in the sand, and that is the name of the song I've written for you today. It looks like they're coming ashore under the beaches and the ocean floor, and shivering right past your front door, they're coming ashore.
Today's event was great. It's a super important subject. It's about not only just saving the ocean and the Nantucket Sound and the fishing grounds offshore. This today was also about the onshore nightmare that the wind industry is starting to create.
So this is really bad idea. And because the feds and the folks at the state level have these arbitrary goals to have everybody drive electric vehicles and live off wind energy, which is intermittent. We can talk about that too. Because we have these arbitrary goals of being fossil fuel free by 2030. It's 2024, people. It's not going to happen. These arbitrary goals are significantly negatively affecting humans.
Today you heard a lot of information that you do not see in the newspapers. You heard today about the danger to our sole source aquifer from offshore or onshore oil transformer substations, electromagnetic fields that are already registering in the cable landing up the street at Colville Beach.
These signs right here, in about a month, when you drive through Colville Beach, the town of Barnstable is actually going to be posting signs warning folks about the stray voltage that's already coming off the cable that came into Colville Beach. I can walk over there with an electromagnetic sensor and it will actually give me a reading on that. As a result of that, you have to be careful with folks that have pacemakers, people who have medical implants. The stray voltage can actually affect those. So there's actually going to be signage warning folks down on Colville Beach shortly, within probably a month.
It's never been about the grid. It's always been about the greed. Taking the lowest bid and watch Cape Cod bleed.
These shenanigans up there in Boston are really going to hurt us here on Cape Cod. I was just talking with someone about why are they trying to kill the goose that laid the golden egg? This is a tourism-based economy. There are going to be high voltage buried cables. Who wants to bring their children and grandchildren to play on a beach like that? Okay, so this is why we fight. And thank you all. I got to thank Barnstable Speaks is fantastic. There's a petition going around against the recommendations of CEISP. Let me just say this: I never ran so much as for a class president. I am so angry about this. I'm running for office this fall just because we need more voices up there saying no, no, no. So thank you very much.
One aspect of me is very, very, very much in favor of regulations that circumvent local authorities, especially in agriculture, because that's my background, but in a lot of things, because I like to see things done and people being able to move forward without a lot of regulations.
and the not in my backyard mentality not be the complete control. But public health is where we have to draw the line.
Come help draw the line in the sand, 'cause they're coming ashore.
Brooks Free Library in Harwich kept the kids engaged in 2024 with their full calendar of events. Last July, they hosted the Egg Drop Challenge, which saw over 20 kids put their creativity and engineering skills to the test.
Today is our Egg Drop Challenge, which is an engineering challenge designed for kids and families. They're going to take a variety of different materials. I basically cleaned out my craft closet and put it all out on the table. And they're going to use all of those different materials to try to build something so that when I stand on the top of the ladder behind me and throw the egg off of the top of the ladder, that when it hits the ground, it will hopefully be protected by the contraption that they built rather than exploding into 1,000 eggshells and like just goo everywhere. The process is great. Actually, I love the engineering process. One of the things that I love about it is that it really helps to create a growth mindset, because whenever you're engineering something, you build it, you kind of test it out, which is why I have more eggs than I think we need. You build it, you test it out, and then you see what's working and what's not working, and then you iterate upon that. Like, okay, this design was just a no-go. I have to start over from scratch. Or this design almost but not quite worked. How can I fix it so that it will work the next time I try it? I expect to see lots of imagination on play. I expect to see lots of extremely different solutions to the challenge. I've done this several years in a row, and one of the things that I love about it is sometimes I will look at something and be like, oh gosh, no, I'm gonna throw this off the ladder and it is not gonna be great. And then it miraculously, in fact, does it. And other times I'll look at it and I'll be like, oh, this is solid, no way, not even a crack, and everywhere. So I love that all of the solutions are very different and yet can still work. I hope they walk away with the idea that engineering can be fun, that sometimes you make mistakes and that's okay because it's part of learning how to not make the mistake again in the future, that nothing is ever perfect. Sometimes you put all of the work into it and it still cracks, and that's okay because it was still fun. We've been doing this for a number of years now, and I do it a couple of times a year. Sometimes I do it with my homeschooling group as well. So some years nothing cracks, although I think that only happened once. Some years everything cracks. Most years you get a mix. Sometimes you get the successes, sometimes you get the not successes, but it's fun either way. And what I actually love about it too is how much the kids get involved in each other's things, right? Like, so I'll go to drop it and you can see everyone like, oh, is it gonna crack? Is it gonna crack? And then it doesn't crack and everybody cheers, not just the kid who made that particular item. They can learn more at our website, which is www.brooksfreelibrary.org. We have a calendar with all of our information on there. We also have a Facebook page that you can get if you go into Facebook and put Brooks Free Library. And we have things in the newspaper, obviously, or you can call the library at 508-430-7562. The children's room is extension 2, or you can email me at acarpenter@clamsnet.org. Those are all great ways to reach us. We have lots of great programs this summer, many of them funded by the Friends of the Brooks Free Library. So I would definitely say the library is a great place to come and check out free programming all summer long and during the school year as well.
Dennis Conservation celebrated Earth Day by hosting their annual Trash Olympics. This event drew over 100 volunteers, forming teams to clean up different areas around town in a friendly competition.
So this is the Dennis Conservation Celebration. It's an annual town-wide litter cleanup event that normally draws between 100 and 150 volunteers from around the town to go to different areas of town to clean up all sorts of trash and litter. They come back and we have a nip competition and all sorts of fun activities, free food for everyone involved. And here with us today is Rick Bishop, our colleagues at Friends of Bass River. And Rick and his team are doing a separate cleanup that's kind of a part of this overall event. And where's that, Rick?
And we're concentrating on the Indian Lands part of town in Bass River. So our team of 10 is down at the Bike Trail Bridge, the Route 6 bridges, and the Indian Lands Conservation Area. And we've always had, I guess success is probably the wrong word, but we pick up a lot of trash in that area. It's great to partner with Dave's group for this event.
Right, and I should also say that this is a collaborative event with, of course, the Friends of Bass River, the Dennis Conservation Land Trust, as well as the Town of Dennis, Department of Natural Resource, and DPW. So all sorts of help. It's been a fun annual event now for many years. 50 people pre-registered, but I think a lot of folks don't register. They're waiting to check the weather forecast. We're lucky today, it's beautiful. So we expect over 100. The Dennis Conservation Land Trust doesn't just clean up trash, right? Our main mission is to get out there and conserve new parcels of environmentally sensitive land. And we're also doing a lot of environmental education programming with college students and environmental studies students at Dennis Yarmouth Regional High School. So check our website, dennisconservationlandtrust.org, to see all the work that we're doing and find out how to get involved.
Advancements in AI technology came at an alarming rate in 2024, garnering great support and great opposition. Amidst the controversy over the potential uses of this technology, the Cape Cod Cultural Center in Yarmouth held an AI art contest to propose the following question: what is art?
So we have a current exhibition right now called Autonomous, and it's really about exploring this new disruptive technology that's on all of our doorsteps, right? Artificial intelligence. And when you think of different disruptors in the art world, it's happened over and over, starting, way long ago when photography came into the world. It was also this big disruptor, right? And so we look at artificial intelligence as very much one of those disruptors, but we don't look at it as destroying the world as we know it. And so this was really an exploration. John Stringfellow and his partner Val Gersher came to us and said, hey, we're interested in utilizing AI art, and we're interested in supporting an exhibition that explores how artists are utilizing it, from generative work to ideation, and really just using it through stages of their creative process. I come from a science museum background, so disruptive technologies and future-focused thinking is something that I love to think about, right? Autonomous vehicles are scary to people. I put 100,000 people on an autonomous vehicle in Tampa, and now they use that as a first and last mile solution in downtown Tampa because people aren't scared of it. You just have to give them access to it. And so I love bringing that. And also where science and art come together, that's like the space of creativity, right? And you hear a lot about STEM, but it's really STEAM, right? Like STEM doesn't move forward without the A. And so that's what this is about. It's embracing technology and how the impact they can have on the art world. I think we had 167 comments on our first post about this. A lot of people saying, why are you doing this? You're destroying the art world. Why are you investigating things that could replace artists' work? And then we had a lot of people saying, hey, I'm utilizing this in a different way, and it's not about the replacement of artists. It's not about trying to replace creativity. It's about utilizing it as a tool. And the question posed in the prospectus is this art? Right? And in what ways is this changing the art world? And you're gonna see people using it in a lot of different ways. We have a gentleman who is writing a graphic novel about his ancestors immigrating in the 1800s. And so he is utilizing it as trying to get an understanding of what the space looked like in the 1800s and what their outfits looked like, right? How were they clothed and what did the environment look like? And then he's taking those ideas and he's doing original watercolors to create this graphic novel about his family. And so it's really great in the gallery because you have the idea of this is what he's put into the computer through prompts, right? And then you have his original watercolors in his sketchbooks. So you're seeing the real original artistry, but you're also seeing how he's utilizing it in the creative process. I would say most people that are in the gallery, it's a very new adventure for them. And we have a textile artist, a fiber artist in the exhibition, and she was doing some ideation around the retinal nerve and what that would look like. And so she used those prompts, put it into artificial intelligence, and it gave her ideas of what the eye would look like. And then she took that and she did original paintings and fiber work. And so these are new concepts, that she's starting to put into her everyday art practice. We have another gentleman who created these letters. He's doing a whole truth series. There's lots of types of truth these days, it seems. And so he's doing a whole truth series, and he created these letters in artificial intelligence that they're all kind of fuzzy and they almost look like maybe Grover or something. And then he made them in physical form, and so you have these big letters, they're big fuzzy letters. That's the fuzzy truth. A sign of our times.
And in May, Chatham was graced with the presence of two Plymouth-based celebrities, Beth and Marcia, from Two Grannies on the Road. While the show has gone through many iterations, the Grannies' goal is to visit every town in Massachusetts and demonstrate that you're never too old to live your dream.
I'm Beth.
I'm Marcia.
And we're Two Grannies on the Road. So how we started, that would be me, and it was about 2010. And I had been in business for myself for about 8 years as a web designer. And I was single, and my youngest son was graduating from college. So I was kind of feeling like, geez, I never got to travel across the country with my kids in an RV like I wanted to. And, poor me, I haven't had a vacation in 8 years. And then I thought, well, wait a minute, I have a job that I could do from anywhere. And so maybe I could find a way to travel and work at the same time. And I thought, well, I wouldn't want to do it alone. Who could I do it with? And I thought of a friend of mine who was also a grandmother and had her own graphic design business, so she could work from the road. And then the name came to me, Two Grannies on the Road. And so it evolved into a community TV show where we were interviewing baby boomers who had reinvented themselves and telling their stories to inspire other baby boomers to live their dreams, because it's really never too late. And so we did that for a while, and part of the show was always a travel. It was always a travel segment where we would go somewhere and, see the town a little bit and have lunch and whatever. And then it kept evolving, and Ginny retired. And then I had a second granny that I worked with, and she retired and moved to Florida. And so then a few months after that, I met Marcia. And she's the second granny. And I know she has something to say about that. Yeah,
Yes.
Go ahead.
She talks about these other two women. I've never met them. But she told me I could check her freezer.
Cut. So anyway, yeah, so it was 2019 when I said to the second granny, hey, let's visit every city and town in Massachusetts. And she said, great. So we started doing that, and COVID shut things down for a little while. But then when Marcia came on board, we picked up. And tell us what you do, Marcia.
I'm the one that gets to organize the days, because we usually try to spend a full day at a town. And I go on Facebook and find a forum about the town and ask the community where we should go. So when the community says we need to go to the Hangar restaurant, that's where we go. And I usually get about 160. And when you keep repeating the same thing over and over and over again, it makes a decision. I then always contact the historic societies. Somebody usually tells us we need to go there anyway. Beth gets to do the hard part as far as I'm concerned, and you noticed I'm not volunteering to do it. And she edits the whole show, which takes an awful lot.
Yeah, so that's it in a nutshell. We're having a blast. We are trying to demonstrate to people that it's never too late, to pursue your dreams, and we're pursuing our dreams of traveling. It's, traveling when your own state is still traveling, and you can go a half hour away and still find lots of adventures and fun and new things and meet great people. And we're having a blast doing it, and we're kind of ambassadors for tourism in Massachusetts, don't you think?
We are. And we have like 3 things. We visit each town, but we also do events. We went to a sheep shearing festival, and I've never seen that before. Boy, that was really interesting this past weekend. And we're going to go to an asparagus festival. I've never done that either. So we do events, and we speak at different senior centers and libraries, etc. So we feel pretty fortunate to be able to do all those things. And Mass has everything except a desert. It's got ocean, hills, mountains, and of course the ocean.
It's got farms and fields. It's got everything. Get out there and travel in Massachusetts. Start in Chatham and work your way north and west. Aren't you glad you asked?
And thank you for joining us for another exciting year of news. We're taking a short break for a few weeks, but we'll see you again in January with a new airtime on Mondays. As always, if you have a story you'd like to see covered, send us an email at newstip@capemedia.org. Tune in for more hyperlocal news that matters on Channel 26, Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Follow us on all our social media, including Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. For Cape Media News, I'm Mitch Sock. Happy holidays.